Hey guys, today I am blogging from Virginia. I went with my husband to a conference, and so I'm enjoying a little time by myself. But I often get asked the question of how do I homeschool multiple children successfully? And for me, the answer is found in my schedule. And I often get a lot of questions about my schedule. And so, first, I'll tell you why I found the schedule to be very important and helpful. When I start the beginning of my year, I make a list of all the subjects that we're going to cover with each child. And then I look at my schedule and I print out an Excel spreadsheet that has 30-minute time blocks. And in each block of time, I put down a subject. So I have a different subject in each block of time, and that helps me determine if I can fit everything into my day. So I try to look and say, okay, well, this subject will take about 30 minutes, or if I combine the Latin and the Spanish together, that will total 30 minutes, so I can do those in the same block of time. And once I get everything laid out, I can see how everything will fit in my school day. And this really helps me because I tend to overplan and try to fit too many things into my school day with not enough breaks. And so once I have everything laid out on the spreadsheet, I can go back through and prioritize and take any subjects that are kind of overkill for our schedule, and I can make sure that everything will fit into my day and that I have time with each child. So for me, the schedule is a way just to kind of organize and prioritize the subjects that I teach, and I never really follow it exactly. For the first few weeks of school, I print out the schedule and we kind of go through it just to make sure that everything does fit in the time allotted. And once we have kind of a good routine, I really don't use the schedule much anymore. We kind of have it internalized and we just go through our day. I don't look at the clock and say, oh, the 30 minutes is up, it's time to switch. But it has been a really good guide for me to kind of know how long things will take and how to fit everything into my day. So I create a color-coded schedule. Every person has a different color, and my day starts at 6. And I started doing that because I had little people, and it was very, very hard to teach things like multiplication or indirect objects or division or other more complicated things when I had a toddler in my lap. So I would get my oldest up first before anyone else woke up, and we kind of had some quiet time together where we could get a lot done. And this left her with most of the rest of her day free that she could read or work on any projects that she had going. So I'll walk you through what my schedule looks like. It starts at 6, and I now get my 3 oldest kids up first thing in the morning. The little ones, Tiger and Bee, they are exercising. They usually get on the treadmill and listen to audiobooks, and they take turns walking. And I get started with Curly, and we do Bible, and then we have a few workbooks that we go through, some daily geography, daily language. We read some poetry together, and that's our first block of time. And after that, we go right into her language arts, which has her spelling and her writing and grammar. And then we usually do some Spanish and Latin. And I try to keep those short. My goal for those subjects is daily exposure, so 10 or 15 minutes for each of those. And during that time, Tiger and Bee are working independently. They're usually working on handwriting, or they're on the computer working on typing lessons, maybe working on an independent math page. And at that point, I switch. Curly gets to take a break and she goes and gets on the treadmill, and I do language arts with Tiger, which is his reading lessons with all about reading. I also do his spelling lesson with all about spelling, and we do first language lessons for grammar, and we also read some poems together. And then I switch again, and Curly works on some homework. Usually she has some math pages and she has some writing assignments. And I work with Bee, and I do all of her language arts, which is her reading, her spelling, her grammar, and we read poetry together. At that point, the little girls are usually up and they come down and join us. They usually play for a little bit, and then we all go have breakfast together. And during breakfast, I try to work on any memory work or Awana verses for church. And right after breakfast, I have time that is for Pumpkin for the littlest girl. And that is her special school time. Usually we end up just kind of playing with little things, or we read books together. It's not a very formal time. Sometimes we do art, but that's her special time with me, and I make sure I do it right after breakfast so that she's not overlooked in the schedule. And while I'm doing school with her, I have Curly reading out loud with Tiger and with Bee, and then they both also read some of their readers to her, and she listens to them read and helps them with any words if they get stuck. And after that, I have time with Ladybug. She has her preschool time with me. We work on learning letters, some beginning handwriting, some simple math concepts, and the other kids usually play some games on the iPad while I finish up things with Ladybug. And after that, we have our math times. So I start with Curly, and then I do math with Bee, and then I end with math with Tiger. And so while I'm rotating through their different math times, which math takes about 30 minutes per child, that's kind of our longest time block for a subject in our homeschool, the other kids play. The older ones get the little girls a snack. They go into the playroom and play with them. So it's kind of a good break in between the math time so they can go play. At that point, we switch and we do some Spanish together. We do some history reading, and usually everyone comes and listens to that. Then we also have our Bible time together and science time, and the little girls often participate in both of those. And at that point, we have lunch. And while I'm making lunch, the kids watch their online history lessons with Veritas Press. So that gives me a few minutes to get lunch on the table. After lunch, we clean up and we work on any Awana verses that we have left. And then I have some reading time where I usually read out loud to either Curly or Tiger some of the books that we're going through. And the little people usually play. Sometimes they have some computer time. Sometimes they go take a nap if they're really tired that day. And at that point, we kind of end our day. Usually around 2 is when our homeschool day has been ending. And what I've been doing at 2, that's my time to have a little bit of a break. I usually get on the treadmill myself and then take a shower and have my quiet time because I found that I'm too tired first thing in the morning to do those things. And by the evening, I'm also too tired. So I've been doing those in the middle of my day while my kids finish up any independent work they have. They have computer time, and usually they have a lot of playtime during that time. So that's when I get a chance to get on the treadmill and exercise and do some things for myself. So it's been a good break in the middle of our day that everyone can just do things on their own. After that, we usually have a snack and do some picking up before dinner. And by that time, my husband is home and we have dinner and can have our family time in the evening. So that's kind of what our day looks like. We usually have, by this time of the year, have found a pretty good routine where we just kind of flow through our day, and I don't really look at the schedule too much. And I usually have to change it about every semester as things change. Nap time changes, or we add a new subject, or we just have different changes where I need to update the schedule quite a bit. But I have found that for our homeschool, if I did not have a schedule, I would not be able to get everything done in my day. So hopefully that helps you as you plan for your homeschool year and think about how to schedule all the subjects and how to make them fit into your homeschool day.